All right. This is a 5th grade skill. This deals with numbers and fractions. And we're going to talk about simplifying. Simplifying is important. There are 2 ways to simplify, okay? And it just depends on whether you're dealing with proper fractions or improper fractions. Let's first talk about proper fractions. Well, what are proper fractions? It's when the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Okay? So if I gave you something like 10 over 20, and I said simplify this, all you do, first you want to make factor lists. And factors are simply what numbers that multiply together to give you 10 and 20. So 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. And if I do it for 20, 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. Step 2, you want to find the greatest common factor, also known as the GCF. What number do you see in both lists, the 10 list and the 20 list, that they have in common? Well, they have a 1 in common, they have a 2 in common, they have a 5 in common, and they have a 10 in common. But our step tells us to identify the greatest, so that would be the 10. Well, step 3 is to divide the GCF into the fraction. Okay, we know our fraction is 10 over 20. Our GCF, we circled 10. Divide 10 by the top and the bottom. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 20 divided by 10 is 2. And that's how we simplify proper fraction. Well, let's do improper. And first we need to identify what an improper fraction is. This is when the numerator is greater or bigger than the denominator. Okay? So if I give you something like 23 sixths, and I wanted you to simplify that, you simplify using long division. Okay? I like to use repeated subtraction. Remember, fractions are division problems. It's numerator divided by denominator, or 23 divided by 6. If you struggle with putting and placing the divisor and the dividend around the bracket, the first number goes under, the second number goes on the outside. And I'll just keep subtracting 6 because division is defined as repeated subtraction. So if I repeatedly subtract the divisor until I get a remainder that's less than my divisor, it should help me get my mixed number. As you can see, I was able to subtract 6 3 full times. My remainder is smaller than my divisor, so I can stop. Circle every time you subtract 6. I circled it 1, 2, 3 times, so 3 is my answer. I have 5 remaining. To make a mixed number, and you want to express your answer as a mixed number, okay? Your whole number of the mixed number comes from the quotient, the 3. Your fraction is built using your remainder and your divisor. Your remainder is your numerator. Your divisor is your denominator. And that is how you simplify both proper and improper fractions.